Hi, thanks for watching. Today I want to show you a solution I came up with to improve the usability of my planer and joiner, and I hope this gives you some ideas you might be able to use in your own shop. For quite some time, my setup consisted of my joiner on a small, mobile base, and my planer on a simple rolling cart made from 2x4s. This worked alright, and it kept my tools mobile. I always found it a bit awkward, though, when I was using the machines together to mill stock down. This is the solution I came up with. It's essentially a material dimensioning workstation. Let's take a closer look at some of the features.
The stand itself is super simple. I have some 10-foot 2x4s here that I used on the top as a base for my 3/4 inch ply. I have some 2x6s here on their side to give me just a little bit more height so I can clear the joiner. We'll see why that's important. And then below I have Rockler steel shop stands. If you saw my video on my table saw extension, you know how much I love these and how quick they go together. They have the adjustable feet down here on the bottom. That didn't give me enough height to clear the joiner though, so that's why I have the 2x6s. And right now I just have a simple plywood shelf here on the bottom and a couple of baskets that are collecting some miscellaneous items from the shop that don't have a home right now. But you could easily put drawer slides there, another layer of shelving, a lot of storage space there that's really, really nice. I also have these dust-free shop trays from Rockler here, a small one and then a deeper one. I keep things like my little push blocks, hearing and eye protection down here, things that I'm just frequently going to need when I'm working with the planer or the joiner. One of my major complaints with the setup I had previously was that even though I could connect that expanding dust right hose to the port here on the back, and it was a quick disconnect, I could put it anywhere I wanted, the hose was always dropping down over the outfeed table here and was blocking the material as it fed out of the planer. Sometimes that was a problem, sometimes it wasn't, but it definitely got in the way. What I really like about this is the hose is always up and out of the way now. It's clamped very securely here and to its blast gate up on the actual pipe, and so I always have a nice clear path for material coming out of the planer. The dust collection setup is actually not terribly complicated. I have a blast gate here for the planer and a blast gate here for the joiner, so I can very quickly switch between the two. They run up overhead just in a simple 4-inch PVC run and back to my main dust collection system. For support, I have a 4-inch PVC coupling here, and the hole that actually goes through the plywood is just big enough for the pipe itself to slip through snug. So the coupler here keeps this whole assembly from wanting to sink down into that hole. Underneath the stand, I have just a simple power strip that has both the joiner and the planer plugged into it. And then you can see my 4-inch PVC comes down and hooks into this little assembly I made. Fairly simple. You can see I have the PVC adapter there, as well as a little coupler. I have a dust right elbow, and then my hose, of course, clamps onto that. And this hose is flexible and longer than I need, and that lets me pull the joiner out and slide it back in without having to mess with the dust collection hose. On the joiner itself, the dust port is actually on the opposite side for what would be ideal for me, but I got around that by building just another assembly here out of the dust right fittings. I have a coupler connected to the dust port on the joiner itself, and then I just make a U out of these elbows, and the other end of my hose hooks right on there. The major space-saving feature of this whole setup comes from having the joiner on this mobile base, which is just a simple little HTC mobile base. And I've actually mounted the wheels in the front. I have just enough clearance on both sides of the joiner to get the bed in under the stand, so I don't want to be finagling this thing back and forth trying to parallel park the joiner under the stand. Instead, I want to be able to just push it straight forward and back. And that's exactly what I'm able to do here. And it really doesn't need to clear the stand itself by much, just enough so if I have a taller piece, this isn't in the way. Then when I'm done, I can simply flip the legs up on the rolling base, slide the whole unit back under, and I have all my open space back here ready to go. Now, to take advantage of some of this extra surface space that I have here, I'm going to go ahead and mount a couple of these roller brackets that I got from Rockler. These are just over 12 inches wide, which actually works out very nicely given the input capacity of my planer. I'm not going to have pieces wider than that anyway. It's a 13-inch planer, so this will give me plenty of support and will line up nicely with the infeed and outfeed tables on the planer. Alright, I rated my plywood scraps, and I have a couple strips here cut to size. I have just over 32 inches from the end of my stand to the beginning of my table. I'm going to probably split that difference approximately, go about 16 inches out from the table. So there's a nice simple in-feed support right there. I'll do the same thing on the other side for some out-feed and we'll be in good shape. Alright, so I have my in-feed support in place, and you can see my outfeed support down here as well. Both nice and level with the infeed and outfeed tables on the planer.
Alright, thanks for watching. I hope this was interesting and maybe gave you some ideas of how you can organize your planer and joiner a little bit more effectively and efficiently in your shop. Stay tuned for next time. I'm going to show you about a couple of nice upgrades you can do to both the planer and the joiner, improve accuracy, safety, and just overall usability. Alright, thanks for watching.